Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, welcome back with me. In this video, I would like to tell you the article summary. So, in the previous video, I have tell you about the textbook summary and the novel, also the novel. So, in this occasion, I would like to tell you in the next topic is about articles summary compilation. So in this semester I have read 10 articles, and here I would like to retell you one by one, but okay, before we start, let me introduce myself first. I am Siti Jamilah and I'm a student of English Education Department, Islamic State University, Syarif Hidayatullah, Jakarta. Okay, before we start to the article compilations, I want to talk into important point. The first is brief information about the article, and then the connections between the article. So, like I have said before, I have read 10 articles, and most of the article topics there are two. The first is education and school, and the second is method, strategies, and technique of teaching. Okay, start with the first article. The first article talk about effect of interactions on adolescents' reading motivations. In this article, discuss to investigate the effect of interaction among the student, especially in improving or developing their reading motivations. And conclusion, the research has found that existing interactions among the students give them a lot of positive influence, such as in reading motivations. They can share or chat with the friends after school and asking about the schoolwork, and this help them to more understand about this subject. And the second is the effect of home and school on children happiness, a structural question model. So before I talk about the second article, I will talk about the connection between the first and the second. So the connections is about the effect of interactions. Yes. The first article talk about interaction among the student, and the second is interaction among the student, children, and home or their parent, and their happiness and influencing their happiness. So in this article, the author discussed to analyze the structural relationship between the important construct of school, home, and family, and the happiness. So, and because the happiness is an expression of positive emotion of a person, and this is very important to their school learning and well-being and motivation of school children. Yes, and the result is there is a positive and significant influence of both home and school on student happiness. And this article also determine how the school and the parents should react or work together to develop their children happiness. And the next is about fearful and distracted in school, predicting bullying among youth. So the conclusion, the connections is it's about the student feeling, or yes, if the Previous or the second article talk about the happiness, so this is also related to the happiness because uh, this is about factors that broke or distract their happiness. This is talk about predicting bullying among the student in school and identifying the factors that increase bullying in school. Because, like, as we know that bullying is a serious problem in child, and the bullying can cause the children to be fearful of going to school, so they lack of the happiness in school. So for the conclusions, the author found that bullying in school can be predicted and also can be prevented. So school personnel in this case is teachers should consider all known variables and are linked to youth bullying and actively strive to reduce the opportunities of bullying among the youth. And the fourth article is about Wall magazine as media in grasping people's reading interest at primary level. So this article is discussed about the teacher perception about the program that facilitate in reading habit. So okay, first I want to connect to the third article. This is one of the I think one of the teacher can do to reduce the bullying in or the like in the school to save climate or to improve the safe climate in the school. The like what making a program like wall magazines. So the findings of this research is wall magazine have benefit to the student and the teacher. The teacher at the wall magazine can be a media to support literacy movement program, and also with this activity in wall magazine can build the sense of belonging and responsibility of the student. The student can what actively voluntarily actions and repairing small damage on the wall magazine and their to fill the wall magazine with their work. And the next is influence of mobile learning on student as writing in English language. So the connection between the article, the fourth and the fifth is about the technique of teaching or yes strategies to teaching a language, like in this article to increase their essay rating. So the author intend to discuss about the effectiveness of mobile learning on student learning, particularly in essay rating. And it is clearly stated that the purpose is to examine the influence of mobile learning on student learning in three categories that are descriptive, narrative, and expository. And the finding is revealed that the mobile learning has significant effect. Why? Because with a mobile learning that make the student easier to search their knowledge, yes, or their research for writing. The next article is gamification's influence on elementary pupils' learning outcomes and engagement in English language. And the connection between the fifth and the sixth is the method and the approach of or the technique of teaching language. The author intends to explore the influence of gamification or games on the learner. Is it has just bring up fun learning or it has positive impact to improve their achievement. So the finding is the result indicate that using games to teach has beneficial effect on learning outcomes. Like the learner taught with games got a higher point than the cooperative method that will increase their interest in learning. And the next article is about developing students' speaking ability through story completion. So the connection is developing student ability. So this is and the technique or the strategies with story completion. So this article discusses about describing the effectiveness of story completion technique on developing student speaking ability, because like we know the most difficult student or more challenges in student speaking is they not confident to speak up. So the article objective of this research are describe the implementation of story completion, is it whether it has positive or negative effects in improving their speaking ability. And interestingly, this method is very helpful to overcome student difficulties in speaking. The result. And the next article is about exploring EFL teachers' beliefs about English language learning and teaching, evidence from Indonesian context. So before I said about the article, the connection between the 7 and the 8 article is about learning and teaching method. So but this is about the teacher motivation or the teacher beliefs. So the writer did the research for exploring English as foreign language at or EFL at senior high school teachers' belief or their motivations on foreign language teaching and learning in Indonesia, because the teacher beliefs or their self-confidence might influence their teaching performance. So as the conclusion, the article found that the teacher should relate their beliefs in learning and teaching, because it may predict their teaching practice and narrow the gap between the teacher and student. So it is important to the teacher what related their teaching learning to their method or to their self learning. Yes, relate their motivation on students, so it will make them more motivated to learn. Okay, the next article is the effect of cooperative learning strategies in the enhancement of EFL learners' speaking skills. So the connection between 8 article and the 9 article, this article is about EFL learners and improving their speaking skills or language ability. So the author discussed about investigating the effect of cooperative learning strategies based on multiple intelligence in enhancing the EFL communication skills, because it might be the effective method to improve their speaking skills. So as the result of the research is the cooperative language strategies affected on EFL learners to develop their communication skills. It what motivates students to more increasing their ability. And the next is about examining performance on story writing through blended learning, a case of SMA student in Sukoharjo, Indonesia. Again, this is about the technique or the strategies for teaching English. The author also discussed about the blended learning platform on the use of digital environment to improve the student competence. And as the result of the research is the author found that blended learning gives positive impact in student understanding and writing skills.